Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today, we're taking a stack of insights gleaned from the latest buzz on X. We're sifting through the noise, really, to bring you the most critical nuggets of knowledge. Think of this as your personal guide to understanding how, the foundational elements of our world, from economic policy to tech leaps and even the fabric of society, are being challenged and redefined right now. We've got some unexpected economic shifts, groundbreaking AI, debates on financial control, thrilling space missions, and pressing societal concerns. So let's just jump right in and unpack what's surely worth knowing today. Okay, kicking things off with a bold economic declaration. It certainly got people talking. Our first post comes from at Zerohedge, and it's short, sharp. We have deflation. Now, that's a powerful claim, isn't it? Especially when we've been hearing so much about, persistent inflation. So if the producer price index, the PPI, is signaling deflation, are we looking at maybe a temporary market thing? Or could this indicate something, fundamentally changing, something deeper in the global economic dynamics?
Yeah, what's truly insightful here is how this post reflects a surprising and pretty dramatic drop in that producer price index, the PPI. That measures the average change over time in selling prices received by domestic producers. And we saw a decline to minus 0.1% month over month. That's really starkly contrasting market expectations, which were for a 0.3% increase.
Wow, okay.
Big difference. Exactly. This rare decline in wholesale prices isn't just challenging the mainstream inflation story. It hints at something much deeper. When we connect this to the bigger picture, it could signal maybe a potential global demand crunch, or perhaps an unprecedented surge in supply-side efficiency. I mean, look at China's export price index. It's fallen 15% since 2022. That suggests global overcapacity pushing prices down. And here's where it gets, kind of surprising. Research from the Richmond Fed suggests that the inflationary impact of U.S. tariff hikes, like, say, Trump's 10% baseline tariff announced for April 2025, might actually have a delayed effect, sometimes even leading to unexpected price drops initially, not immediate increases.
That's counterintuitive.
Right. It really is. This effect could redefine how we think about economic policy, maybe moving beyond just typical rate adjustments to address these complex global forces. So the takeaway isn't just, prices are falling. It's why they're falling, and what that truly signals for future policy and market behavior.
That's definitely a lot to consider in the economic landscape, especially, when the signals point in such an unexpected direction, challenging our assumptions about inflation and policy. Okay, from these economic undercurrents, let's pivot. A different kind of disruption, one that's rapidly reshaping our technological future and, challenging our understanding of human creativity itself. Our next deep dive comes from the tech visionary at Marc Andreessen, and his post reads, "Every once in a while, you can see the future." Now, when someone like Andreessen says that, someone with his track record of spotting these huge transformative technologies, it usually means something big is shifting. What's caught his eye this time? What has him so excited about seeing the future right now?
Well, what's genuinely fascinating here is that Andreessen's post seems to spotlight a pivotal moment in AI, specifically for software development. He's talking about Replit, founded by Amjad Masad, which has introduced something called Agent 3. And look, this isn't just another coding assistant. Agent 3 apparently offers 10 times more autonomy in software development.
10 times?
Yeah. And what's truly insightful, I think, is that this isn't merely optimizing coding. It's sort of blurring the line between a tool and a co-creator. I mean, imagine future software development involving AI partners rather than just AI assistants.
Yeah.
That fundamentally reshapes team structures, the very nature of human-computer collaboration.
An interesting way to put it.
And it echoes this broader trend we're seeing, rapid progress in autonomous systems across fields. Think about CRISPR-based treatments for sickle cell disease, for example. They act like autonomous molecular programmers editing genes. It just demonstrates how these self-directing systems are advancing across biology and technology, pushing boundaries of what we thought needed direct human input.
Right.
Andreessen, he has a history of these forecasts. Remember his early prediction about operating systems becoming irrelevant because of the web. Legendary stuff. So when he says you can see the future, he's identifying a moment where technology crosses some kind of threshold. Agent 3 seems to be that moment for autonomous software development. The profound implication for you, the listener, whether you're in tech or not, is how this level of autonomy will reshape not just jobs, but maybe our creative process itself.
Yeah, the rapid arrival of tech autonomy certainly makes us question who's really in control. It's remarkable how these systems are reshaping entire industries. And that theme of control, particularly over foundational systems, it echoes in our next post. But this time, it's about the very concept of money. Our next thought-provoking post comes from @Naval Ravikant. It's a powerful statement, really challenges conventional thinking, he writes. The ultimate victory of communism isn't when government sets the price of goods and services, it's when government sets the price of money itself. Wow, that's a bold comparison, linking modern monetary policy with communism. What's the core of his argument here about the price of money? What implications is he drawing?
Naval Ravikant's statement, it offers a very sharp critique, doesn't it? It encourages us to think critically about the underlying assumptions of our financial system. He's essentially highlighting how central banks like the Federal Reserve here or the ECB in Europe hold the power to set interest rates, control the money supply. To him, this level of control over the price of money, interest rates being, the cost of borrowing or the return on saving it, echoes historical state-controlled pricing. Now, it's worth saying, no peer-reviewed study directly labels central banking as communism's ultimate victory. It's a provocative analogy, right? Designed to make us reflect.
Sure gets to thinking.
Definitely. And the governments have certainly manipulated currency values for a long time, at least since the 1971 Nixon shock, when the U.S. just unilaterally ended the dollar's convertibility to gold. That ushered in this era of floating exchange rates and, increased central bank intervention. A 2019 IMF study, for instance, found interventions like that affect maybe 20–30% of global currency trades.
So while central bank interventions often aim to stabilize economies, and we've seen their crucial role, like with Eurozone inflation spikes in 2022–2023, driven by ECB policies, Naval's point forces us to ask, do they also, perhaps unintentionally, erode individual financial sovereignty by dictating the value and availability of money? For you, the listener, this raises a pretty crucial question about how you truly protect financial autonomy in an era where the price of money is increasingly centrally managed, and maybe what alternative systems might emerge in response.
That's a truly fascinating perspective. The interplay between economics, government, individual control. It certainly gives you pause. Makes you consider how foundational these policies really are. Okay, from these deep economic and philosophical debates here on Earth, let's look up to the skies, witnessing a different kind of precision and power reaching for the stars. Our fourth post takes us directly into the realm of cutting-edge space exploration. This one's from @SpaceX. The post reads, less than 1 hour until Falcon 9's launch of the Space Force DOE and its Semper Citius SDA's first Tranche 1 mission from California. Weather is looking good for liftoff and propellant load will begin shortly. This is really real-time stuff, isn't it? A significant launch. Beyond the sheer power of a Falcon 9 lifting off, what makes this particular mission so noteworthy today? And what challenges did they overcome to get to this point?
Well, what's particularly interesting here is that specific mention of good weather for this SpaceX Falcon 9 launch from California. That region, especially right at dawn, it's actually notoriously prone to radiation fog.
Yeah.
From the ground cooling overnight. That can easily scrub a launch.
Right, I've heard that.
But for this particular 6:35 a.m. Pacific liftoff, the Tranche 1 Transport Layer B mission, that fog was just notably absent. It provided this rare, clear window. It really highlights the incredible precision needed and the often overlooked meteorological coordination that goes into every single launch.
Yeah.
And this mission itself, it's a critical milestone for the Space Force's Space Development Agency. They're deploying the first of what will eventually be over 150 satellites into low Earth orbit. It's part of a resilient global satellite constellation.
Impressive scale.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the fact that this particular reusable Falcon 9 booster is on its 6th flight, that just underscores SpaceX's commitment to cost-effective innovation, reusability. It's fundamentally changing the economics of getting to space.
Yes.
Historically, NASA data shows maybe 20–30% of launches have been scrubbed due to weather. So this on-schedule propellant load and liftoff is a testament to advanced planning and, frankly, the sheer reliability they've achieved. For you listening, this isn't just another rocket launch. It's a demonstration of how tech innovation is making space more accessible, more reliable, even as it pushes the boundaries of strategic defense.
Incredible how precision, planning, relentless innovation, how it all comes together for these kinds of achievements, pushing boundaries beyond our planet. And speaking of significant trends, our final post brings us back down to earth, focusing on a critical societal issue that's been widely discussed and really demands our attention. Our final deep dive today comes from @Elon Musk, and it brings attention to a very serious, very concerning trend. His post states, the murder rate spikes up dramatically around 2020. It's a stark observation. What does the data truly tell us about the nature, the scale of this spike? And what might be some of the complex, interconnected factors behind it?
Well, this post by @Elon Musk highlights a very significant and, yes, concerning increase in the U.S. murder rate, precisely as he states, around the year 2020. Data from the CDC Wonder database actually confirms this spike in homicide rates. It was particularly pronounced among Black individuals, reaching a peak of 31.51 per 100,000 in 2022, before declining slightly, thankfully, to 29.85 in 2023.
Okay.
Now, this spike has been partially attributed by some analysts to societal responses to major events during that period, like the murder of George Floyd. However, it's also important to note that some analyses suggest the increase was actually trending upward before that specific incident. That indicates multiple contributing factors are likely at play.
Right. It's rarely just one thing.
Exactly. Could include potential policy changes at various levels, economic stressors, broader social dynamics. It's complex. And the integration of policy discussions, like, for example, Attorney General Pamela Bondi's memorandum aiming to end what she perceived as illegal DEI practices. Well, that highlights how political and social commentary often intersect with crime statistics. As impartial guides to the source material, we convey that these are different viewpoints, right? Not necessarily direct causal links proved here, but they certainly shape public perception.
Understood.
The key takeaway for you is understanding that this is a complex issue. It's driven by a confluence of factors requiring a really nuanced understanding beyond any single explanation.
Certainly a topic that requires continued attention and, yeah, a truly nuanced understanding from many different angles, a challenge that highlights the intricate layers of our society. And that wraps up today's deep dive. We've covered some serious ground, haven't we? From surprising twists in economic indicators challenging our views on inflation, to breathtaking leaps in tech autonomy, reshaping creativity, sharp critiques of financial control, the precise triumphs of space exploration, and pressing societal concerns that demand our attention.
Indeed. What really stands out to me from today's deep dive is how these seemingly disparate threads, all pulled from the real-time conversation on X, remember, are constantly weaving together. They form this dynamic tapestry of our world.
Yeah.
We're not just seeing facts fly by. We're witnessing how foundational assumptions are being questioned, how new paradigms are emerging, and how our collective future is being debated, built, and yes, even launched every single day. These conversations on platforms like X offer a unique, immediate window into these forces. I mean, consider how these shifts from potential deflationary pressures to autonomous AI might not just change how we work or invest, but maybe fundamentally alter our societal values, our ethical frameworks in the coming decade. It's a constant reminder, really, that understanding these connections is key to navigating an ever-evolving world.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning, and stay profoundly well-informed.